Hi guys, and welcome back to another call. No, it's a Battlefield commentary today. Like I said, I'm going to be bringing you some new stuff. This is going to be some gameplay, not sure what map yet. I have yet to record the gameplay for it. With Battlefield, just the games are way too long for commentary, so I don't want to have you guys sitting here for 20 minutes, at least not right off the bat. Maybe we'll look at doing some live commentaries down the road where you guys sit with me for a whole game. But since I mostly play Conquest and Rush, maybe Squad Deathmatch or Team Deathmatch might get me a 7 to 8 minute long commentary, but I'm still not too hopeful there. So don't know quite what you're looking at here, but hopefully it'll be some good stuff. But I want to talk to you more about what you can expect from this series. And as you know, I started out my channel trying to give you guys some tips and tricks for the Call of Duty series. And since I'm new to Battlefield, I don't really have those for you yet, but I am learning very quickly. I'm up to, I think, a level 38 now. You can look me up on battlelog.battlefield.com. Same gamer tag as where I play everywhere, the InstentKarma one. But that's a really cool website that they have for this. A lot better than Call of Duty Elite, in my opinion. But that brings me to my next point, that I am going to be referencing Call of Duty a lot for this, because a lot of you guys came here for Call of Duty content. I know there's other FPSs out there on the market, but Call of Duty is one of those things that we can all just get around and relate to because so many people play it. So I will be referring to that a lot, even though I know it's not the only game out there. But I am going to be looking at doing some tips and tricks for this series so you guys know what to look at. But overall, it's just going to be me talking, giving you guys my opinion about the game, talking about the gameplay, and maybe intertwine some real-life stories over the top of that. You never know. I might just get tricky up in here. But what I want to talk about with today's commentary is some of the things that I've been noticing overall while playing Battlefield as opposed to Call of Duty. Because, I like to do this compare and contrast videos. Did one for the consoles, did one for the past two Call of Duties here. So I'm going to go ahead and look at some of the differences here right off the bat. Now, first and foremost, I know that Battlefield is a lot more realistic of a game. At least I feel that way. The only exception here is that with Call of Duty, you do die a lot faster in that game. And that's a little bit more realistic for a lot of people. When you have that health bar and you're looking at it with Battlefield and you can, regenerate and look at your percentage of health, it doesn't seem quite as realistic, but I do like that point system. It's a lot more fun to chip away points. Each bullet does 25 damage, except with some other guns, but for the most part, you got your submachine guns and assault rifles at 25 damage. And so it's nice to know that and be able to chip away at people. They also have the implementation of health packs in Battlefield, which is a nice addition. I don't think that Call of Duty will ever put anything in there like that, just because it's a lot more fast-paced, action-packed game, whereas Battlefield you kind of slow down. As I've said many times, Battlefield's kind of like a game of chess, where Call of Duty is more a game of tag. But when you look at it, you're alive a little bit longer in Battlefield. You stand a bit more chance and have some of those gun battles. But along those same lines, one thing I really do like about Battlefield is the way they simulate near death. Because, with Call of Duty, you got all those red screens flashing, you got the blood coming over your screen, and your heart beating real fast. That's one way to look at it. But what I like with the Battlefield approach is that it starts to go like you're fading out, like you're reaching that white light, and the life is just blurring before your eyes because you got the suppression going on, which messes with a whole lot of things. Probably save that for another commentary, but the colors start to fade and everything starts to get quieter, and it's kind of the way I would visualize death, more than just everything getting hot and heavy right before I just attack myself. So that's one of the biggest things I've noticed there. Another thing that I noticed with Battlefield is it's a bit more strategic as well. Again, getting at that chess point there. You don't have a UAV up all the time. You do have one in your upper right-hand corner or left-hand, not quite sure. You guys can actually look at it right now. I don't got my gameplay going right now. But, you got your UAV up there, but it only goes off when somebody shoots. There's really no way to call in a UAV. Now, what you can do is you can spot a player when you're playing on consoles, it's either the back or select button. PC, this is a lot more better setup. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But basically what you're looking at here with the spotting is that will let you choose one player and one player only to show on your screen. Now you can also mark up tanks and helicopters, but you can only really have one thing spotted at a time, so you can't have just everybody on your radar all the time. The one exception to this is with the MAV, which is a recon class, your sniper class, and that will let you fly around and mark everything up. And I know a lot of you guys probably know all this, and you're saying, shut up, Karma, talk more about what I want to listen to. But I want to more or less get these Call of Duty people over to Battlefield and realize what we're talking about here. Probably should have covered that at the beginning, but it just crossed my mind, so you guys are getting it now. So basically, that's what we got going on for the UAV here. Now, what I want you guys to realize first and foremost is when you get into Call of Duty, you go to your creative class, and you set it up the way you want, with all the perks you want, all the guns you want. And Battlefield, it doesn't work that way. So what you look at with Battlefield is you have your 4 classes. You got your Assault, you got your Support, Recon, and Engineer class. And I know they don't look in that order, but basically what I did when I first got on the game is I'm like, alright, I got 4 created classes, let's see what I can do with these. And it's not like that at all. Each class has a different weapon perk. And I know a lot of you guys probably play role-playing games, and you kind of look at it as different classes like that there. You know, each one got their own little thing that they can do that the other class can't do. So for our Assault class, you get more or less assault rifles, or carbines as they call them in this game. And what you can do there is you can heal people, and you can revive them. And this game is a lot more based off your deaths. You know, it doesn't really matter if you're getting a bunch of kills. If you're helping out your team, that works. Just don't die a lot is the biggest point with Battlefield from what I've seen. So, you know, when you revive people, you get a ticket back on the board, you know, or you just don't get it taken away to begin with, however you want to look at that. So that's a real important strategy. Then we'll move along over here to the Engineer class. Now, that one's pretty fun. We got a rocket launcher that you can throw on there, or you can have some mines going as well, I believe, on that class. Not 100% positive, that might be Support. But you do have a rocket launcher, you got an assault rifle on there as well. And then you can repair vehicles, which is nice. So that's one of the 2 anti-vehicle things that you can use. It's the only one that I feel is really efficient at taking out air vehicles, because you have a Strela. And it's the same as Call of Duty, you know, it locks onto things, only you can't lock onto anything but the air vehicles in this game. So, you know, it's kind of a disadvantage there, but we are going to be getting a patch where you're able to use it on land, infantry, and then on the air vehicles as well, so that'll be pretty cool to see. So we also got Support here. Their biggest thing is going to be with the C4, and you use light machine guns for this mostly. Now there are weapons that go across all the classes here, and you'll unlock those as you level. They're called personal defense weapons, or PDWs, and you're able to use those, and they range from shotguns to submachine guns, and I think that's probably about it. You might get 1 or 2 assault rifles, but I'm doubting that highly. So, you know, you get your submachine guns and shotguns in there. So, you know, you can use that, but like I was saying with Support, your biggest thing is your C4, or you can use Claymores. You got your explosives going on for you there, so, you know, that's one of the other vehicle classes that you can use as well. Now the last one we got going on here is Recon, and this is more of an independent player. I don't really like these when I'm playing game modes like Rush, which is kind of like Search and Destroy, only you got a lot of tickets, so maybe closer to Sabotage. But basically what you do as a Recon class is you're sniping. And you have your secondary, you can have it be an automatic pistol, regular pistol, you know, whatever you want to be there. And then you can place spawn beacons, or they're similar to tactical insertions. And they work a little bit differently. If you're outside, they'll airdrop you in, but if you're inside, you'll be able to actually spawn on the actual beacon. So you got to be careful placing those. But you also do have the MAV that I was talking about before, where you can run around and spot people, which is pretty fun. And then they also have a deployable radar that you can put down too. You got to choose between some of these, but they have a deployable radar, which is pretty fun, which is basically like portable radar. You know, similar names, so there we go. But those are the classes, and those are some of the things I've noticed with Battlefield 3. I feel like this commentary is probably running on long enough. I want to tell you guys so much more, so I will start recording the second commentary right now. Probably get that up a little bit sooner than Thursday of next week, or Friday of next week, whenever this comes out. Hopefully it'll be a little bit sooner, because I've just been loving Battlefield and haven't been able to get gameplay on Call of Duty, so it kind of works out. But I will go ahead and cut the commentary here. Go ahead and let me know what you guys thought of this first Battlefield one. Let me know if you want me to continue with this, or, you know, if I should just quit YouTube altogether. Just kidding. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please remember, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.